So have you ever been involved in a project and wasn't quite sure what to do next? Your colleagues maybe didn't seem to follow a set process and everyone just got on with it in the best way that they thought they knew they should. When there's a lack of governance, it can become a free-for-all where project quality varies greatly and the business can grow frustrated and a little bit confused when things are done differently every time. In this video, we'll take a look at why you need a standard governance process and what happens when you don't have one, what a simplified governance process looks like, and the 3 governance models you need for your team. So I'm Tony and this is Intelligent Automation Simplified, and I release videos on simplifying intelligent automation technologies to help businesses and business leaders and professionals learn about new technologies and how to implement them in a simplified way. So if you want to learn more about that, just hit that subscribe button, and if you're getting value from this video, hit that like button, as that will really help me out to create more videos just like this one. Why should you have a standardized governance process? So even if you have roles and responsibilities sorted, you need to know when and how different activities need to be done. The governance model is that backbone that everyone follows. It monitors progress and looks at workload when you need more resources, and also when to alert stakeholders when they are going to be needed as well. To have something that's standardized means that everyone is doing it the same way. It's easy to predict workflow, and stakeholders and automation teams can anticipate what's required of them when they're working on multiple projects at one time. If you don't have this, things can get missed, and this ensures that steps and key activity points aren't missed. Because if you don't have something like a governance model, stakeholders are going to get confused on what they need to do, who to escalate to, and what the time frames are for these expected activities. This will create more arguments than necessary and false expectations, massive delays, and stakeholders who you need to get buy-in from could be missed out until it's too late. For example, the IT team could become a blocker rather than an advocate of what you're trying to achieve. Additionally, team managers, if they're not bought in, if they're not clued up on what happens next, they're going to get false expectations of what's required of them and their teams and how much time is actually needed with the staff member. So you could be working with a subject matter expert who suddenly gets pulled onto another piece of work, and then you're left hanging. And so without a plan of how to implement a project, it's going to cause delays. And if you don't know who to escalate to, you're going to be bounced around looking at who wants to take responsibility for something that's gone wrong. Obviously, that's going to be very difficult to pinpoint. So these things, escalation points and responsibilities and who to go to and when, should be agreed and documented ahead of time. So let's take a look at what a simplified governance model looks like. So as you can see here, you've got the process, the steps, the decision points, and the checkpoints, and you've got these different icons. You've got the roles and responsibilities icon, the checkpoint criteria, and also the tool that you need for each point. You also want to build in the time frames, the SLAs or the OLAs, the operational level agreements, between the different teams on when something is going to get done, and also the escalation paths. What happens if something's delayed or something doesn't get done correctly? Who do you speak to get things moving and back on track again? Here you have the high-level discovery model. How do you go into a business and find opportunities? How do you go in and then develop an end-to-end map and find opportunities to create an enterprise roadmap? So as you can see here, this is the discovery model. So this is where you go in and you understand the business and the different areas and the teams to create that end-to-end process of how each department or team works. You're looking at, and this is how you would go in and start to pull out the objectives of the business leaders, the pain points, and start to gather the metrics and KPIs. This process is the how, the different steps in order to get that understanding of each team. And then you'd pull up something like this, which would be the full map, end-to-end map of what the process looks like. But the governance model this thing here is the different steps to get to that goal in order to paint that picture. So if you can continue on these different steps, then you can paint that picture of exactly what that business area or team does, how it works, the pains, and where potential opportunities are in order to help that business unit meet their objectives. You would run a workshop, you would gather the process owners who understand that high level process and help you join the dots. The end-to-end process looks and how the sub processes of that department link together. Then you go into having your analysts go in and start collecting data analytics to identify and prioritize opportunities. So that governance model can be used to go into any team, any department or business unit or business as a whole, and you can take that discovery model and you can go into any client team, any client business, any business unit, and pull out all the opportunities and create an automation roadmap. So once you've done this, the next governance model is the implementation process. This model allows you to go onto any project and deliver automation by following these steps. So it shows you the different steps, the different activities that you need to do, the different stakeholders that you need to engage with, and who is doing what throughout this project. And it also shows you the templates and the tools to use at each step, at each activity, and when to use them. And next to each key milestone, there's checkpoint criteria, which are the quality assurance checkpoints, which shows you the criteria, what you need to achieve to move on to progress to the next stage, who needs to sign things off, what the escalation path is when certain activities haven't been done on time, are delayed, or haven't been done to the correct quality. So with this model, this will cover you for if anything goes wrong, how to get it back on track using those escalation paths, and how to ensure that the end result is going to be high quality, because you have these checkpoints along the implementation process to ensure that at every step the quality is at an acceptable standard. You've discovered the opportunities with the discovery model. You've implemented your automation with the implementation model, and that's taken you up to launching the automation. Now, the third model that you need is the support model. This is a standard support model for maintaining your automation when anything goes wrong. And there's two ways that you can maintain an automation. So you've got the proactive way, which is having the support team monitor these automated projects, these automated processes, to look to see if anything's gone wrong. And then you've got the reactive approach, or reactive incident management, where the business team who uses automation would raise a ticket and alert the support team that something has gone wrong. So the proactive approach is where the support engineer is going in and doing spot checks to just make sure that the robot is active, it's switched on, it's doing the process, the outputs are correct, and it's carried out the correct steps. And this is spot checks that could be done once a day, or two or multiple times a day. And if something does go wrong, then the support engineer would alert the business, a change request would be raised to fix those issues. And whatever agreement the support team has, the business team has with the support team, then there's that service attached to that, where it's part of the maintenance cost, or there's additional cost for fixing bugs and updating the system. The reactive incident management, like I said, the team sees that there's an error. They've maybe received 100 errors in their inbox. The robot is erroring all the time, or maybe there's just a few errors, or the bot sent an email saying that it's going offline, for example, and would raise a ticket to alert the support team to look into this. And then based on the criticality of the process, The support team would have agreed a prioritization mechanism with the business, which automated processes to take care of first. Because if you've got limited support staff, they can't take care of everything at once. So there's going to be some prioritization handled there. But this all needs to be agreed up front, so the business knows that if, say, their robot is a low priority, it's going to take a good few hours to get that back up and running, maybe a few days. So they're going to know straight away that they're going to have to resort back to the manual way. And again, with change requests, if the business wants to make an enhancement, or they need to fix a bug, something in the underlying process or data has changed and that's creating errors, or there's new technology that they need to add to this process, again, you have that governance process arranged, set up already. Your automation team know exactly how to handle that, and the business knows how to engage with you to get these things done. So as you can see, by having a governance model which is rich in information, you can ensure that your automation team runs like clockwork. So yes, there's an automation model that's important, but it's important to couple that with the toolkit that you use on a daily basis, so that the teams know exactly what tool to use when they get to a different step. And this just means that everything runs smoothly, everything's been thought about, so it just minimizes the chance that something goes considerably wrong and gets out of hand. So making sure that everything is planned ahead of time just keeps your automation program running. So bringing together the roles and responsibilities, the tools and the templates, the checkpoints and the quality criteria, superimposing that onto your governance model. In lean thinking, this is what we would call poka-yoke, which is mistake proofing. And this is a term used in manufacturing, but essentially you want your automation to run like an automation factory that keeps churning out automation on demand. Okay guys, well, I hope that was really useful for you, and we'll put some links down below where you can learn more about these governance models and how to link these different elements together with the tools and the templates in your toolkit. But again, if there's anything more that you want to learn about, write your questions and your thoughts down in the comments below. That will really help me to learn more about what you're after and what you're interested in, so we can create new videos for you. And make sure you subscribe, because we release new videos every week. Okay guys, take care.